Hello everybody, it's Lazel here with another Magic the Gathering Arena video. Today we are playing a back it up deck, so we are playing Selesnya colors white and green, and this is going to be a very aggressive deck, but we do have some synergies around here that I would like to talk about. As long as we still can, we play the Hopeful Initiate, a 1 mana 1/2 human warlock with training, so when he attacks and also another creature attacks with greater power, we get to put a +1/+1 counter on the Hopeful Initiate. The activated ability, we can remove 2 +1/+1 counters and destroy target artifact or enchantment. I think it's a nice mechanic, but it's simply played because it is a very solid 1-drop and will have a few synergies that I will come up with later. I do play Lone's Escape because right now I don't have found any better spot for this slot in this deck, simply because we get to put Hexproof and Indestructible on one of our creatures or artifacts, and we get to scry 1. Skrelv, I think I don't have to explain much why I play this card. You have a constant hexproof mechanic on the field as long as he's untapped, and I think Skrelv, does a great job overall. Let's get a little bit more into the actual synergies of the deck. Angelic Intervention as another protection spell for either a creature or a planeswalker. And if we protect a creature with this one, we get to put a +1/+1 counter on it. Dust Legion Duelist is one of the key cards in this deck. It's a 2 mana 2/2 Vigilance Vampire Soldier, and whenever one or more +1/+1 counters are put on Dust Legion Duelist, draw a card. This ability triggers only once each turn. So especially with aggressive decks, especially red decks, often tend to play some planeswalkers that can exile cards from the top of the library that they can then still play. So we need some refill with our hand for especially aggressive decks, which is why Dust Legion Duelist is not only a heavy beater, it is also a card draw engine. And especially with Vigilance, it is protected from the Wandering Emperor, which we all love. Then we continue with Invasion of Gobakhan, simple hand hate card on turn 2. When it enters, we look at target opponent's hand, so you get a lot of information about your opponent's hand. You can exile a non-land card from it for as long as that card remains exiled. Its owner may play it. A spell cast this way costs 2 more to cast. So just like the old, I think it's called Elite Spellbinder from Strixhaven. And when you can flip this invasion, at the beginning of your end step, put a 1/1 counter on each creature that attacked this turn. Really synergistic, especially with cards like the Dust Legion Duelist, and we can also sacrifice the Light Shield array to creatures we control, again hexproof and indestructible, so another protection engine for our deck, but mostly we want to flip it for the +1/+1 counters, which will then grow our creatures and draw us cards with Dust Legion Duelist, for example. Botanical Brawler, an uncommon from March of the Machine, 2 mana, Elemental Warrior, 0/0 trample, and when it enters with 2 +1/+1 counters. This is great because the second line says whenever one or more counters are put on another permanent you control, if it's the first time a +1/+1 counter have been put on that permanent this turn, put a 1/1 counter on Botanical Brawler. This is great because we can clearly focus all of our +1/+1 counter synergies on our Dust Legion Duelist, and the Botanical Brawler will still grow. We continue with +1/+1 counter synergies. We play 2 copies of Archangel Elspeth, the planeswalker that can +1 to create white soldier creature tokens with lifelink. -2, we put 2 +1/+1 counters on target creature. It becomes an angel in addition to its other types, and it also gains flying. Pretty dope with Dust Legion Duelist to make it a flying vigilance creature. We continue. I do have 1 copy of the Wandering Emperor. If I had more, I would probably also play them because we all know and hate the Wandering Emperor. It's simply a very flexible card with its flash mechanic and its instant speed loyalty abilities, so overall a great card. Another underdog in this deck is the Doomscar Warrior, 4 mana 4/3 human warrior with backup 1, so we can put a +1/+1 counter on another creature, and it gains the following keywords until end of turn. First of all, trample, which is great. And then when this creature deals combat damage to a player or battle, look at that many cards from the top of your library. You may reveal a creature or land card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. This is great because not only do we get a +1/+1 counter synergy, but also we do get some more refill of resources. We don't only have the Dust Legion Duelist to draw cards, the Doomscar Warrior also lets us look at the top cards of our library and put certain cards of that into our hand. We do play a lot of creatures, so he will most likely always find at least something. As a top end card, we play Boonbringer Valkyrie, 5 mana 4/4 Angel Warrior, backup 1, and the creature that gets backed up gains the following keywords: Flying, First Strike, and Lifelink. As one of the last cards that I play is Elspeth Resplendent, because I do have one copy and I think she is a very powerful planeswalker. +1, choose up to one target creature, put a 1/1 counter on it, and a counter from among Flying, First Strike, Lifelink, or Vigilance. Especially the Vigilance counter became very important for me, or very interesting for me, because of the Wandering Emperor in the current meta. The -3, look at the top 7 cards. 7 is really a lot. You may put a permanent card with mana value 3 or less from among them onto the battlefield with a shield counter. This is great. Of course, there are cards like Sunfall in the current meta, or also Sheoldred's Edict, that go around shield counters, but cards like Depopulate will crumble against this synergy here. The -7, I never used it so far, but it says create 5 3/3 white angel creature tokens with flying. So I hope that the synergy and idea of this deck is clear now, and then I would say let's jump into some games. Yeah, let's give it a try. Okay, farmhand. Probably on the discard reanimation deck. Oh, Brawler came just in time. And he will immediately pick up some counters. Okay, that tells me that there is a Sunfall coming in, or also a Depopulate. Yep, okay, it is definitely the discard deck. Tali. Oh, Lauren, okay, interesting. Let's see. We play another Brawler. Both see a lot of counters. Got a few more trigger. Maybe that's the wrong play here, but I like to speed up things. If the board gets wiped now, so be it. It doesn't, but that implies that our opponent plays Wandering Emperor. So let's try to see it up front. They have to flash it in now. Yep, GG. Okay, this hand looks pretty dope. All we need to do is find some counters for our duelist. Okay, Thicket. Okay, there we have something. Pretty sure our opponent plays Make Disappear here, so we will lose our first duelist. But that's okay. Okay, Edict. So we might see a wedding announcement because they wanted to get rid of the Hopeful Initiate. Okay, another Edict. Opponent missed a land drop, but we are also running out of gas. Let's see if they have another one. Okay. I'm fine to miss out on 1 damage here just to keep up the intervention. Okay. Opponent goes for the Celestis. Yeah, let's try to back up our duelist here. And with that also draw another card. Okay, Doomscar Warrior is perfect. Let's see if they do have a board wipe. It does feel... okay. They passed the turn. I could go for a refill here with Doomscar Warrior, but the thing is I'm pretty sure that my opponent is playing the Wandering Emperor. This is always a concern, so I will wait for now and just attack with both. Yeah, that's what I expected.
Feel the energy of battle.
They go after Valkyrie. Protection from white. We could have still played Doomscar Warrior, but I do expect something to happen here, like Sunfall. Yep, okay. Okay, we play Doomscar Warrior because we also need to look out for being able to refill our hand. Currently we are also presenting lethal on board. Destroy Evil. Let's see if we can survive this one. Destroy Evil is white. Okay, our opponent makes a token.
We must protect the people.
Our opponent doesn't have enough mana available for another Wandering Emperor, and we just drew a protection spell. Perfect. Alright, GG. Ooh, okay. This hand can get out of hand really quickly if we can get everything going according to plan. Would like to need to find another white source here for the Wandering Emperor. Let's see. Okay, our opponent holds some interaction, but we just drew our third brawler. Okay, an edict. Maybe it would have been better to keep the brawler around, but who knows? Okay, in my upkeep. Ooh, interesting. Do I have to expect... I can see Void Rend, Make Disappear. There are a lot of spells that might happen right now. So I will just go to combat. See what my opponent does. Okay, they do go for Void Rend here. I could still pump up my other brawler here. Let's see how's it would again. I put on another permanent if it's the first time. Could ship in one more damage, or I flash in my Wandering Emperor next turn. I think I will just flash it in my opponent's end step. Could also play another brawler. But let's see. Okay, my opponent missed another land drop, so let's try to resolve Wandering Emperor here if they have counterspell. Okay, they do have negate. But maybe we are lucky to resolve... Yeah, okay, we are lucky and can resolve Elspeth. The Botanical Brawler cares about +1/+1 counters, so doesn't really work with the Elspeth here. But we can safely resolve her. That's what I'm interested in. Let's see what we find. There's a duelist with a shield counter. Good. Now we can keep plussing on... Alright, GG. Okay, we are on the draw. Skrelv into Gobakan. We don't have double green for our warrior, but... Okay. Oh, against mono red. Okay. So we will see a play with fire here, pretty sure about that. Okay, no play with fire. Interesting. And no other play turn 1. That's unusual. Okay, there's Feldon. Intervention isn't helping a lot, so let's just attack. Skrelv cannot block anyways. There we have, let's see, Flame Breather, Lightning Strike, Regatha Invasion, Stuck to Flames. I want to go for the Regatha Invasion because it can deal 4 damage and also kill Skrelv. Pretty sure that they will bring out Flame Breather here, yeah. And attack for another 2. Another Lawrence Escape. This doesn't help. Yep, down to 8. Could really need a Doombringer Valkyrie here. Yeah, but I'm pretty sure I'm dead here. Yep. Yep, that's it. Let's give Skrelv protection. But overall, GG. Way too fast. Not the correct mana in hand. Yeah, more Razorline Thickets is probably what this deck needs. And a Bellow opening hand. Okay, we can go Brawler or go Bakan. Doomscar Warrior, we do have double green, so let's give it a try. Okay, our opponent is going for 2 mulligans already. Okay, Forest into Rock Priest. Okay, let's bring out Brawler. To Slaughter Singer. Ooh, okay. Yep, I cannot block that one. Let's see, we go for Invasion of Gobakan here. Another Slaughter Singer. Yeah, don't want that. Lawrence Escape can at least kill the Slaughter Singer in a trade. Okay, Skrelv's Hive. Oh, too bad, okay. Yeah, we take it. Go for Forest. If I put the counter onto the Doomscar Warrior itself, yeah. It's better for my Brawler. Let's see if they want to protect the invasion from being flipped. Alright. Cast it. Super dope. We had 2 poisons, so there's still room of improvement. Okay, wedding announcement. We all know why they play it. Let's see if they want to draw cards. Okay. Token. Oof, okay. Let's go for a full swing here. Next turn I will take 2... 4 toxic, but I can still get a creature card. And now my creatures will also grow. Let's see. Nice. It takes a bit to get the synergy going, but especially if you're playing against a stand-up deck like this one here, can be a lot of fun. My opponent should also attack with, yeah. We take out, or at least we jump block the Slaughter Singer. Don't need a forest on top. Take another 2 Toxic. Okay, another Brawler. Let's see. Alright, GG. Really cool game. Ooh, okay. We are on the play. Skrelv. Not the best hand for an aggressive deck like this, but let's give it a try. Okay. Yeah, pretty good. Bounce escape. Ooh, that's cool. Okay, now all I need is my Doomscar Warrior. Ooh, okay. This hits hard. The Duelist. At least Duelist can block the etching and... Maybe I should have stayed back with Skrelv, because if they do have any burn... Okay.
Of course you should fight fire with fire. You should fight everything with fire.
Yep. This deserves protection from red before it resolves. Okay. We got a Doomscar Warrior out of this one. There's our next land. So we can back up our Duelist, draw another card. Then Duelist can go after Jaya. Gain us some life back. And we still have Hexproof up with our Skrelv. Yep, okay. Do I want to do it now? I am fine to trade the Bloodfeather Phoenix. Alright, our opponent has seen enough. GG. Alright everybody, these were a few games of my backup deck. So what I do have to say, I think I can definitely find some more improvement in the mana base. Razor Verge Thicket is definitely a card where I would need like 4 copies of it. Also, it's not always that easy because my top end either has double white or double green in it. But overall, if this deck gets going, it's just super fun to see all of the +1/+1 counter synergies going. Dust Legion Duelist, great card to keep drawing cards, especially with Angelic Intervention, or also if, it gets a counter. Botanical Brawler sees it. Botanical Brawler, also a card which I think is just super funny for a common card, for an uncommon card. Super cool. Skrelv, yeah, there is a reason why this card is so good. You can simply just sit back and have a permanent hexproof ability on the field. I think it's just very powerful. Doomscar Warrior, yeah, I think it is a lot of fun. 4 mana, you can make it maybe a 5/4, or you can back up another creature, give it trample, maybe refill your hand. This is something that works really well in this deck with Dust Legion Duelist or also Doomscar Warrior constantly refilling your hand. And also Elspeth Resplendent, also with the -3 ability. Great synergy. I think this deck is a lot of fun, of course, as with every deck. There are some weak sides to it, especially when your opponent plays a lot of, for example, Sheoldred's Edict. You will have a few struggles with this one. But overall, I think it's just super fun. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this one. See you in the next one. Goodbye, guys.